happy to be here with my brothers on Blog. Ready to get to it, man. I'm so excited about this show. You pay yourself a professional athlete, and you get paid to catch the ball and can't. Like, that just makes no sense to me.
Biggest takeaway is that if you are a West Coast team, take your behind to the East Coast 2 days beforehand so you can at least get 1 day acclimated to the time difference.
The effort they put up against the Warriors, lethargic, pitiful. We won't give too many more words to it, so we're going to move on.
And here we go.
Oh, my goodness.
Now, the Big Game Christian Sports Network proudly presents Donnie Epting, Dwayne Sutton, and Willie Epting. And they are in the zone.
All right, fellas, y'all have a good show. In the Zone Sports segment 1 coming down in 3, 2, and 1.
Looking at our watches, it's about that time. Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you to this edition of the In the Zone Sports Show here on the Big Game Christian Sports Network. This segment of the In the Zone Sports Show is being brought to you by Drain and Plumbing Services. When plumbing issues arise, don't just call a plumber, call the master plumber. Call Ken Richardson at 214-317-7881. Call him today for a quick estimate. I am the Captain, Donnie Epting, and we welcome you to the In the Zone Sports Show here on BGC Sports. As always, the brothers, they're with me. Let's go ahead and introduce the knuckleheads, as we like to call them sometimes. We'll start with Dwayne Sutton out of Slidell, Louisiana. Dwayne, what's going on?
Hello, world. Cap, what's good? Triple OG, what's good, man? How y'all doing, man? It's great to be here. I'm ready to get to work this week, bro.
All right. Willie Epting Jr., let's hear from you, sir, out of Texas. What's the deal, Pickle?
What's happening, world? Hey, man, you let that be the last time that you call us knuckleheads in front of company.
You'll be all right. Put water on it. It won't hurt.
Hey, man, I'm proud to be who I am.
It won't hurt.
How y'all doing, man?
Man, pretty good, pretty good. After a week off, it's good to hear from y'all. It's time to do what we do. So, with that being said, y'all ready?
Man, you already know we ready to go. Let's do this.
Already. Let's do it.
All right. And here we go. First up, we want to pause and just give our heartfelt condolences, our prayers, our thoughts to all of those down in South Louisiana who have dealt with some historic flooding. Some major flooding has taken place in areas such as Baton Rouge and the metro area. Denham Springs is mostly underwater. There are towns like Sorrento, Ascension Parish. A lot of those areas down there have been affected by some torrential rains that have taken place over the last week. It's caused schools to, and the school just got back in, but it's caused schools to be out for weeks. Of course, businesses have been affected. The all-around way of life has been turned upside down due to all the rain down in South Louisiana. It's an unfortunate circumstance, especially for those in that area. In Baton Rouge this summer has been probably the polar opposites or the tale of two totally opposite ends of the spectrum, with some of the things that went on earlier in the summer, the shooting death of Alton Sterling, the assassination of police officers in Baton Rouge, and now, as we get ready to wind down the summer, the big flood. Record rains down in South Louisiana. Dwayne is in Slidell, Louisiana, which is about an hour and a half, close to 2 hours away from Baton Rouge. And Dwayne, we'll let you get the first word in on the things that's going on down in South Louisiana. You're closer to the situation than both of us. Just kind of talk about some of the things that have taken place down there in South Louisiana, sir.
Heartbreaking indeed. Cap, I'm glad you mentioned, basically the tale of 2 summers for Baton Rouge. Because, when we talked about the shootings going on and the differences between the people and the people who were meant to serve and protect, those being the police officers. When there was a difference in the land and God wasn't pleased with his people, he would cleanse the land. I'm going to look at this as a way that this is time for everybody in the communities to come together, because it doesn't have to be as bad as it has been. Now, I've spoken to different people. I have actual people out there in that area, and there are quite a few people in that area who are from the New Orleans area. And if you go back 11 years, those were the same people who had to live through Hurricane Katrina. And so the question comes, after you survive Katrina, how do you have your life torn down, rebuild it just to have it torn down again? Baby, this is life. We fall, we get back up, and we keep running. Doesn't matter what the devil may throw your way, what storms you may go through. As long as the good Lord blesses you to see another day, you get back up and you fight. That's heartbreaking to lose your possessions, everything that you work for, but they are material possessions. They can all be replaced. I just thank God for the lives of the people that managed to make it through. I thank God for the lives of those who are putting their efforts and energy to help restore that area, help those in need. That was a big thing. Baton Rouge opened their homes up to those in New Orleans when Katrina happened. So now it's our time to return the favor in this area. So anyway and everywhere you can help, we can help. Let's do so.
Well said, man, and most definitely. Favors favor. I know that doesn't sound the most grammatically correct, but it is what it is. You do right by people, people do right by you. And there have been, Dwayne, I'm glad you did mention those who have been able to live through it. Of course, on the flip side, the unfortunate side of this is there have been over 10 deaths related to the flooding in the area. You just go different places, and it's almost movie-like. Bodies are kind of floating around because these people were not able to evacuate and unable to evade the rushing flood waters that have come in and have ultimately taken their lives. All right, Willie Epting Jr., let's swing things over to you. Let's get your thoughts in on the tragic situation down in Baton Rouge.
Yeah, Donnie, I appreciate that, man. Dwayne, thank you for that heartfelt commentary that you just gave. And one thing that struck a chord with me with what you said was, if you wake up the next day and the good Lord blesses you, or the good Lord has blessed you rather, with another chance at life. And I remember something that Donnie, our father, used to tell me all the time: if you're still breathing, you still have a chance. Our heartfelt prayers go out to our brothers and sisters of South Louisiana, everyone that's affected by all of the rains. I heard a report that over 500,000 homes and people have been affected by this. And I like what you said, Dwayne, about what happened with Katrina and how Baton Rouge opened their arms to New Orleans and the surrounding areas. And Donnie, I when you said favors favor, I know exactly what you mean, because I caught that in the spirit. And that is an attitude that we should genuinely always have, not just in times of tragedy. If you think about all of the things that have taken place in 2016, it's incredible to see where we are. And we have to understand that God is trying to get our attention. Not that God has to try anything, but we as a people have to understand what's going on here, and that He wants to get our attention. And the fact of the matter is that these perilous times, all of the things that have taken place with the law enforcement, the weather, we've said it before in previous shows, we're in the end of days, the sign of the times, all those things that have been prophesied all throughout the Bible. So, I appreciate you two so much. I appreciate the Big Game Christian Sports Network, Mr. Day and Mr. Bailey, everything that they have going on. And I'm just glad that we are like-minded, like-spirited, and like-hearted people trying to make a difference for everybody.
Indeed, man. And agree on both of your points. And thank you both for your commentary. So 2 hour folks down there affected by all of this. And guys, I checked on a friend of the show, a friend of the In the Zone team, Carlos Brown, and he said, "Hey, we made it." Those were his exact words. We made it. And those 3 words, to hear those from him, it put a smile on my face, because that's Carlos. You know, Carlos is always looking at the good and the end result. It's been tough. It's been a struggle, but he said they made it. That was music to my ears. To all our folks down there, we love you. We're praying for you, and it's only a season, and we don't want to discount the only or discount the season, but it's a season, and this too shall pass. So we love you, and we hope that things turn around for you all very, very, very soon.
Amen to that.
All right, guys, we're going to take a bit of a segue here. We're going to talk about water, or we've talked about water and rain and those things. And we're going to talk about some dudes who their sport deals with water. But what necessarily happened to them recently had nothing to do with the water. This is unbelievable. We can't even believe that we're about to tell you what we're about to tell you, but doggone it, we're about to tell you. Okay, so let's set the stage here. This past weekend, U.S. swim team, or 4 guys from the U.S. swim team, including Ryan Lochte, these guys say that they were robbed by some men posing as police, Brazilian police, who had fake badges and guns, and you know, it was kind of like Notorious B.I.G. Give me the loot, give me the loot, you know. The story came out that, yeah, we were robbed, but we didn't want to tell anybody because we were scared. Okay, this is what really happened. And then Thursday, we found out what really happened. Lord have mercy. I don't even know what to say about this. Ryan Lochte and 3 other members of the U.S. swim team have been accused of lying about their accused robbery. Willie, you had some stuff. I know you got some stuff that you want to get in on this. These dudes lied about being robbed. Continue on with the story. I'm continuing with the story. I'm passing the mic to you, bro.
Not only did they lie, I mean, Ryan Lochte, he got ghost. I'm bouncing. This is a non-extradition type of situation. I'm going back to the crib. Okay, I'm not understanding. You have just put on a tremendous performance in the Olympics. What more attention do you need? I mean, are you really that immature? I think you're 32 years old, and you had your mom all upset because you had her thinking that you were robbed and your life was in danger. Grow up, dude. Seriously, grow up now, and face what you have done, because it's pathetic. You have given yourself a bad name. You've given the United States a bad name, as though they're not already laughing at us, at other things that are going on in this country. And you want to add this to the fire? Man, you are on the swim team, but y'all should be hosed down with water for what y'all did. I'm disgusted by it.
Okay, thank you, Willie A. Smith. Dwayne Sutton, we got about 2 minutes left. Let's get your thoughts in on the situation. These dudes tried to get into a bathroom and couldn't get in the bathroom. What? Hey, Dwayne, go ahead, man.
What Junior say? That's Dumby. I can't imagine anything more just ignorant, just stupid than all these guys thinking that this story was going to stick. You're in the Olympics where everybody in the world is watching you. All eyes are on you. They're hearing everything about Rio. They're seeing some things about Rio. Rio's trying to protect their image, what little image that they have left. And you think nobody was going to find out? They can see you in there tearing down posters. What were y'all drinking? He had to been drinking straight up diesel or something. I don't know what these guys were on. But it just seems like they just had to find some kind of way to steal the spotlight. They just had to get their names out there. It's like everybody was just angry or something about, Phelps. Just, this is all about Phelps. That's all we're hearing about is Phelps. We got to get our name out here.
Phelps this and Phelps that. Oh, sorry.
About right. But I can't. This is a terrible representation of the United States. And as I've sat back and I've listened and watched it, everybody's picked apart all these athletes and what they've done or haven't been doing or where their hands have been, which we'll come back to later.
Let me get in here. Dwayne, let me get in here real quick. We're running short on time. We'll come back and get you right after the break. We'll be back here on the In the Zone Sports Show right after this.
How long would you wait for your shower to get hot? How long would you wait for your cell phone to fully charge? How long would you wait to get relief from your nasal congestion? If you're congested now and you want powerful relief now, use Afrin No Drip. Afrin starts working in seconds and keeps working for 12 hours. So, why wait? When you can start to get relief in seconds with Afrin. Afrin, powerful congestion relief without the wait. Use as directed. For more information, go to Afrin.com.
All right, sports fans, we welcome you back to the In the Zone Sports Show here on the Big Game Christian Sports Network. Yeah, you got to see it just like that. Anyway, this segment of the In the Zone Sports Show is being brought to you by Drain and Plumbing Services. When plumbing issues arise, don't just call a plumber. Call the master plumber. That's Ken Richardson. Call him at 214-317-7881. Call him up today for a quick estimate. All right, folks. Dwayne, I love you. You know I do. But we had to step out and let the station take care of the business, not the business, but the business. When you were talking about the Ryan Lochte situation there at the end of segment 1, so we're gonna come back and get your final thoughts on it before we go on to our next topic. So Dwayne, go ahead and finish up with what you were saying about how Lochte and those cats were an embarrassment to the United States, and how they had to take away attention from Michael Phelps.
Oh man, it's cool. I understand bills got to be paid, but no, man, it's an embarrassment to the country. It's an embarrassment to his family, man. What's your mama gonna say about you, boy? Like, this is ridiculous. All of y'all, they not gonna claim you at church. You're not invited to the family reunions. Like, it's over with.
Dwayne, what they gonna say when he walk into church?
Father, forgive him, for he know he. Oh Lord!
There you go. That's the one.
They gonna start throwing holy water on that boy. Send him straight to the confessionals and everything.
Oh, then they're gonna throw Ozaka water at them. They gonna throw whatever kind of water they can get their hands on. They might throw
full bottles ain't never be open.
Right. Man, they're gonna throw the grape juice at them boy unopened. That's it. I'm upside the head. Then we'll pick it up off the floor and then drink it for communion.
Nah, it might be alcohol. We don't know how that boy operate when alcohol get around him. Hide your posters and unlock all your doors.
Right. Yeah. No. Well, do you want to lock the doors? Unlock because they did vandalize a bathroom.
That's what I'm saying. But they couldn't get in. They kicked the door down.
So you might want to lock your doors.
I'm gonna unlock it. Let them in. Don't tear my door down.
But here's my question. Could you not find anything a little bit more glamorous in the bathroom to vandalize? I mean, really?
Man, they were mad, bruh. Y'all know when we during the NFL season why you mad, bro?
Yeah.
Man,
you know what? Y'all know what?
Fly.
Let's do this. Let's go ahead and give Ryan Lochte and his three mates the 4-way You Big Dummies Award of the summer. Not the week.
Yes.
Not the month. Not a game. We're talking about the You Big Dummies of the summer.
We're not even talking about practice.
No.
You big dummy.
There's no reason to talk about practice. Not a game. Not a game. Not a game. We talking about the summer. You big dummies.
It must have been a Mike Phelps poster.
Right. And as far as and that's funny. It's kind of like when you running for class president and you go draw stuff on the other candidate's poster. You draw the little glasses and a fake mustache. That must be what it is. You know, man, we done with this topic.
Thank you.
We got to go. Let's move on. Hey, let's talk about some NFL stuff. Y'all ready to talk a little football?
Yes, sir.
Let's do it.
All right, let's talk about the Shield here just a little bit. Let's get into some of the things that took place in the first week of preseason. And what we mean by the first week of preseason is the first week where games were actually played, not due to paint being on the field and people having to have their money refunded for a game they waited all summer for. We're not going to say no names, Canton, Ohio Hall of Fame game, but we're going to talk about some games that actually took place. First week of the preseason, biggest thing that stood out to you the most. Let's start with Willie Epting Jr.
Man, I'm going to go right outside my neighborhood again. Right to I-30, head west. Jerry World, Dak Prescott, quarterback. Hey, you got him thinking quarterback controversy, man, don't you?
No.
No? Okay, I didn't think so either.
No.
Maybe.
In one game.
Right.
One game.
A preseason game with that. But anyway, I mean, he looked good, though. 12 out of 14, 2 touchdowns, including a beautiful drop pass to Terrence Williams. Get that. Terrence Williams actually caught a touchdown pass. And the 2 incompletions that he had were drops. Now, I do know that this was a preseason game. Vanilla defense, not really much of a game plan. But you got to give Prescott his props, man. He had good pocket presence, pulled the ball down and ran when it presented himself, and he was accurate. So it doesn't really matter where you are or what kind of defense is out there. If you're being accurate with your passes and you're showing that kind of presence in the pocket, it's going to give him a whole bunch of confidence going forward as a rookie. And we'll wait and see, man, how he does here in the next couple weeks. And if Jerry and all those guys over there at Cowboy Land are going to be really looking to a veteran backup quarterback or not in case something goes wrong with Tony Romo. So I was impressed with Dak Prescott and what he did with the ones out there especially.
Dak Prescott, South Louisiana, Mississippi State University. Dwayne Sutton, what impressed you? Who impressed you the most? Or I should say what or who. Talk right, son. In the preseason week 1.
Dak Prescott, it really was right there for that nod. Willie, everything that you said, the drives that he made count, the accuracy, the poise, the demeanor, his confidence out there on that field. But I got to go to the AFC South, and I got to head down there to where those Titans at. And that's a dominating 1-2 punch that they got in the backfield that honestly, with Mariota, Henry, and Murray, I'm going to call them the Thundercats. Because every time they run, it's thunder, thunder, thunder. By the time they gone, it's ho. So, Derrick Henry, 10 carries, 74 yards on the touchdown. DeMarco Murray, 6 carries, 93 yards on the touchdown. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
The Thundercats, buddy.
What ready?
You got to stay ready.
Next time, Warner, brother. I mean, please.
No.
Okay.
No. You see me coming, you holler.
That takes all the fun out of it, man.
Yeah, that's 2. What was that 3? I can't remember. Yeah, Tennessee did look good in that first preseason game. And to go back to Dallas, or the game with Dallas and the Rams, how about seeing football again in Southern California? That was awesome. I mean, the Coliseum was packed. And they haven't played football in LA since '94. Man, that was some great stuff to see.
Hey, you know what, though? They might want to play those games during the day because the Coliseum sits right over there close to South Central LA, right off of Hoover Drive. And y'all know about Hoover Drive.
The Hoovers.
Them Hoovers.
Yeah. The Hoovers.
just a side note.
Gotcha, Chief. Here's what stood out to me from the first week of preseason. And Dwayne, I thought when you said AFC South, I thought you were about to take mine. But that's okay, because I had backups to the backups to the backups.
That's what I'm talking about. Stay ready.
With that being said, how about the new look offense of the Houston Texans? First team got limited time in that game against the 49ers. Homer. As Brock Osweiler and Lamar Miller, they come in from the Broncos and the Dolphins respectively. They look good in the limited time that they played. Okay, so yeah, DeAndre Hopkins is looking for a new contract, but I think the Texans now have some weapons around him to help spread the field out even more. Jalen Strong is back with the team. Had a pretty good opening preseason game. Houston drafted Will Fuller from Notre Dame and Braxton Miller from Ohio State, who saw plenty of opportunities in that game against the 49ers. And I've been saying this since the NFL draft. The AFC South will be a fun division to watch this year. Can't wait to see it. Can't wait to see them in action this during the year here. All right, so that was the first full week of preseason, notwithstanding the painted field fiasco in Canton, Ohio. I mean, you getting this field and the stadium ready for months, and you can't get the right paint on the field.
Donnie.
Huh?
Come on.
He's mad. He's upset.
That's a rant. That's a
Yeah, why I'm mad, bro. So let's look ahead to the second full week. As you're listening to our show here on Saturday and Sunday here on the Big Game Christian Sports Network. So we're going to talk about some of the games that are coming up or that will be played this Saturday. What are you most looking forward to in the Saturday's games in week 2 of the preseason? We'll start with Dwayne.
What I'm looking forward to most is a matchup between Carolina and Tennessee. That same Thundercat backfield that I was talking about is going to meet up with the tackling machine best known as Luke Kuechly. And he's looking forward to hitting people. And I want to see him hit somebody. I want to hear jerseys rip, pads popping, helmets flying. Okay, that's going to be flags going off. But anyway, I don't care. I want to see football. That's what I'm looking forward to. Smash mouth football meet your smash mouth defense.
Yeah, and ham sandwiches and hero sandwiches too.
That's why we can't ever. That's why we can't ever.
We refuse to mention the pork. No, thank you.
Okay, hold the mayo. Willie, what are you most looking forward to in week 2?
I'm gonna go right to the New York Giants versus the Buffalo Bills, and In the Zone Sports nephew Michael Hunter Jr., defensive back, cornerback. Mike has been up there making many plays. I read a report where he has impressed to the tune of getting a lot of attention. Even in one of the last practices during the 2-minute drill, Mike came up with a huge interception to put a halt to a drive. So I am really looking forward to seeing this kid make the next step in his quest to make that team. And by all accounts that I have garnered, he is well on his way to doing that. So shout out to you, Mike, man. We In the Zone love you. We got your back, and we pulling for you.
All right, and that game will be on NFL Network on Saturday at 4 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Central, 1 o'clock in El Segundo, California.
So Monroe, Louisiana, y'all stand up for Mike, man. Support him. Watch him on Saturday.
Indeed. And Willie, I'm actually going to go with the same game, but I'm going to go to the other team with the Bills. So let's talk about the Buffalo Bills. They'll get a chance to look at some guys who we maybe thought would be practice players or barely getting some playing time, especially on the defensive side of the ball. You have a season-ending injury to Reggie Ragland from Alabama. Marcel Darius, Mr. Big Stuff, defensive tackle, stuffs the run, clogs up the middle of that defense. Well, he's going to miss 4 games due to a substance abuse suspension where he missed a drug test.
Stay off the weed.
Set your alarm.
That too.
No, he didn't want to take it, dude.
I mean, if you gonna fail it, take it. At least make it worth it. But anyway, I digress. Clemson rookie Shaq Lawson is hurt. The Bills have lost IK and Nkapali due to an injury, and then Manny Lawson is also ailing. So Buffalo's going to get a chance to look at some depth on their roster to see how they're going to address all of these defensive issues that they have coming up to start the year.
One time for the Bills. Oh, Lord. Hurts so bad.
That's 4. Yeah, it does. It really does.
He's past the hat trick.
Yeah. This guy. Okay, so that's what we're looking forward to in week 2 of the preseason. The second full week of preseason, okay, never mind. All right, fellas, about 4 minutes left in the segment. We're going to try to get through this as much as we can. If not, we'll save some of it for the other side. But we're going to go from the pros to the kids who do it on campus. Let's start talking some college football. The season starts Thursday, September the 1st. Hallelujah. Praise you, Jesus. We love you, and thank you for bringing football back. Yes, Lord.
Yes, Lord.
So we're gonna concentrate here on the 2 conferences from last year's title game, as far as the teams who represented those conferences in last year's title game. The SEC, of course, the reigning national champion, Alabama. And then we'll talk the ACC, and that was the runner-up of the national championship game and highlighted by the Clemson Tigers. Okay, so in this first part, let's talk about the favorites of the SEC. Then we'll also talk about the player to watch who we think will dominate or who we're most interested in seeing play this year. And then we're going to pick an under-the-radar team. Each of us will pick an under-the-radar team as well. Teams that, that may not have the hype going into the season, but, look out because they can make a move at any point in the season. SEC, Alabama's the defending champion, so they get first blood here. Let's start this one with Willie Epting Jr.
Really, dude? The second. Alabama. Media circus. Most of the summer. One of the most prized players in the country and his friend arrested in our hometown of Monroe, Louisiana. Cam Robinson. Hootie Jones. However, this is Alabama is going to be loaded once again. They have Robinson back, who will probably, if he comes out, will be probably a top 10 pick. Wide receiving Calvin Ridley, drawing comparisons to Julio Jones. I'm looking forward to seeing who's going to tote the rock. If you look at Alabama the last several years, Mark Ingram, Trent Richardson, TJ Yeldon, Henry. Who's going to be this year? Last year, tight end EJ Robinson. Hey, man, that guy, this is going to be his coming out party even more. Look for that guy to do big things in that offense.
All right, so you got Alabama as a favorite. What about the player to watch in the conference?
Well, I could go with the obvious and Leonard Fournette, but I'm not going to go there. I am going to stay with the running back position. I want to see how Georgia, Nick Chubb does coming back off of that gruesome knee injury. He was one of the better backs in the conference last year before he went down. So I'm looking forward to seeing what he's going to be able to do this year.
All right, that's your player to watch. And then let's get your under-the-radar team here before we get ready to step out for this break.
Kind of like Arkansas, man. They got Alabama at home this year, and they gave fits when they went to Fayetteville a couple of years ago. So better watch out for those guys, man, with them going up to Fayetteville.
All right, so Willie's SEC outlook. Of course, Alabama the favorite. He's got his player to watch as Nick Chubb, running back of Georgia. And his under-the-radar team is Arkansas. Razorbacks. Whoop! Pig suey, as they say up there in Arkansas land. What is it? The Natural State, I believe, is their nickname?
It is the Natural State.
Oh, cool. Got one right this time. All right.
Yeah.
So let's do this. We're going to put a pin in this discussion here real quick. Dwayne and I will come back with our quick outlook of the SEC as well as the ACC from all three of us on the other side of this break when you come back here on the End of Zone Sports Show on the Big Game Christian Sports Network.
Hi, you've reached Burger King. To leave a message, press 1. Hey, Burger King, it's Mike calling again. I called a billion times about the burgers and the chicken and the flame grilling. My big idea. Call me back. I'm here at home.
Michael, didn't we talk about you trying the new flame grilled chicken burger from Burger King? A savory flame grilled chicken patty topped with veggies on a toasted bun. Now just 2 for $5. Or mix and match with another delicious sandwich, part of the 2 for $5 deal. The new flame grilled chicken burger, only at Burger King. Limited time only. Price and participation vary.
All right, good people, we welcome you back to the third and final segment here on the In the Zone Sports Show here on the official broadcast station of the Dallas Charge Pro Fast Pitch Softball. Great season, ladies. Kudos to you. Can't wait to see you guys next year. As a reminder, this segment of the In the Zone Sports Show is being brought to you by PureFlix. Enjoy faith and family movies, TV shows, and educational programs anytime, anywhere, for only $7.99 per month. Sign up for your 30-day free trial by going to bgcsports.net or on the BGC Sports app and click on the PureFlix banner and start your trial today. All right, we are back and we're talking some college football. Before the break, we got Willie's quick outlook on the SEC. It is now Dwayne's turn. Dwayne, give us your favorite to win the conference, your player to watch, and your team that's under the radar, please, sir.
I'm going to roll with this year in the ACC. I think it's the year of the Tiger. LSU, you faded down the stretch
Missouri
of last year.
Missouri?
LSU.
Oh,
You faded down the stretch, the back end of last year, losing to Alabama, Arkansas, and Ole Miss. And you kind of cost yourselves a shot at doing something special because the way the year started off, man, you guys looked like you could be unstoppable. I mean, there was always question marks at the quarterback position. But to have that monster in that backfield, lucky number 7, who is actually, I'm going to go ahead and do it, the player to watch because as the team stumbled, he stumbled as well. And so I know Leonard Fournette is looking to not only have a bounce back year and finish strong because he just came up short of 2,000 yards, but he wants to finish the season just as strong as he started. And because of that, that's the reason I'm picking LSU to actually win the SEC this year. Not only that, but you got to do it for BR, baby. You got to rep. You got to have that show that spirit this year, man.
okay. Who's your under the radar team?
My under the radar team are those Volunteers. I'm gonna give a shout out. No, I'm gonna give a shout out to hometown. Hattiesburg own Robert Gillespie, who's a running back coach out there in Tennessee, and what he's doing out there in that backfield with those players, what he's developing, is going to be something special. But I really believe they can make some noise this year. The schedule for them somewhat favorable. Of course, they got Virginia Tech within their second game. Florida comes to you this year. You do have to go to Georgia, but you play Alabama at home. Once you get past that monster, I really believe Tennessee can finish this thing out and actually make some noise and scare some people.
The only reason I wouldn't go under the radar because the media did pick them to win the East. So they got the eyes on them. But there are a couple of other good teams in the East, too. Georgia, for one. Missouri's another. Missouri just hangs around and hangs around. Florida, we found out Thursday that Jack Del Rio's son is going to be the starting quarterback down there in Florida. I think it's awesome. Florida, they have their first 3 games. Check this out. Florida has their first 3 games at home against UMass, Kentucky, and North Texas. Then they go to Tennessee. Then they go to Nashville. That's a win. To play Vanderbilt. Then they come home to host LSU on October the 8th. And then they play Missouri at home. So in their first 7 games, Florida has 5 in Gainesville. I think that's crazy, but that's just me.
That's very crazy. But at LSU, it's not how you start, it's how you finish.
It's how you finish. And here's how they finish. October 29th in Jacksonville against Georgia. In the world's largest my bad. They don't call it that.
They don't call it that anymore.
They don't call it that anymore. I'm sorry. Then they play Arkansas in Fayetteville. They host South Carolina on November the 12th. Then they host Presbyterian on November the 19th.
Ooh.
Who's Presbyterian? And then they go to Florida State to end the season.
Battle for the Governor's Cup.
So, like I said, Tennessee, they are more of a favorite in the conference, or in the Eastern Division, I should say. But there are some good teams in that East, and by no stretch, I don't think anybody's going to run away with it at all.
Tennessee's going to have to prove it, man. They lost so many close games last year. They should have beat Alabama. They probably should have beat OU when they played them at home. They should have beat Florida. So they just have to bring it, man, and finish the deal.
Indeed. All right, it's Donnie's turn. The favorite, Alabama. Yes, they got some questions on offense, such as who's the starter at QB, who's going to replace the Warrior and Derrick Henry. Nick Saban's tied. They're still a prohibited favorite in the conference. So as far as the running back position goes, for Bo Scarborough, the future is now, and he should get the majority of the carries down there in T-Town. Cooper Bateman is probably most people's guess to be the starting quarterback because he's gotten some previous experience. But look out for a kid by the name of Blake Barnett. He's from California. He's 6'5", and he's a freakishly good athlete. I looked at some of the tape of their spring game. I mean, this dude was making bootleg throws on the run, throwing the ball in tight windows. So we'll see how that shakes out for Alabama. My player to watch, Joshua Dobbs of Tennessee, the QB. He's ready to make the leap to the upper echelon of the players in the elite conference in America. Last season, he accounted for an average of 220 yards a game. That's running and passing. 15 pass TDs and 11 rush TDs. As I mentioned, the Volunteers are a popular pick to win the SEC East. And number 11 will be a reason why good old Rocky Top, will be discussed a lot this year in college football. Under the radar team, Willie, I'm going with Arkansas as well. They won't be discussed as much as the Ole Misses and the LSUs and the Alabamas because those teams are in their own division, of course. But here's why I'm picking the Razorbacks, not running backs, the Razorbacks. In conference play, they get Alabama at home. They get Mississippi at home. They get Florida at home. And they get LSU at home. So they can make a lot of people's feelings hurt in that SEC this year.
And they can put themselves right there in it. They are able to come home with 4 wins with against those teams.
That's right. All right, guys, we're going to need to go a little up-tempo here when we talk about the ACC. So let's get your favorite. Let's get your player to watch. Let's get the under-the-radar team. Let's start with Dwayne.
My favorite, you can sound the alarms on them. Or not. Anyway.
I think it's blasphemy that you're about to go here, but let's hear it.
Yeah, because you kind of killed the joke. Anyway, no, I'm going to actually stick with Clemson.
Okay, I was about to say it.
I know that's a tough start. They go to Auburn, very first game. But the schedule actually just kind of, works in their favor. It's not really a tough schedule. But I just see, watch. I see he coming out and improving himself this year. Like, that last year wasn't a fluke. That they can be better than what they were last year. So, yeah, I'm going to rock with Clemson. At the player to watch, I am going home, and I am going to head to my running back.
Dalvin!
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Sir, you got to show your toughness, your strength. You got to show that you still have that speed burst, and you have to do just like Fournette. You have to finish strong, sir. So, yes, all eyes are on you as well. And then, of course, as far as a surprise team, is to me every year, it's going to be the same team for me, and that's the Tar Heels.
Hey, I like that kid in North Carolina, Ryan Switzer, the receiver, returns punts. I mean, he changes the game in a blink of an eye. And I almost picked him as my player to watch, but, I'll get you that information here in just a moment. All right, good stuff. Dwayne, Willie, your turn.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Clemson again, man. They have two legitimate Heisman Trophy candidates in their backfield, in my opinion, with Watson and Gallman. Speaking of Gallman, he's my player to watch. Excuse me. I love the way this kid runs the pill. Violent runner. He looks to run over you. One thing that you should look for, and Dwayne, I know you can attest to this being a linebacker, is that when a running back, what does he do when he gets hit? Does he fall backwards or does he fall forward? This kid is always seemingly falling forward. Rushed for over 1,300 yards last year, 15 touchdowns. He is my player to watch. And my team under the radar, like you, Dwayne, I'm going with North Carolina. They impressed last year, so maybe for them they can build on what they did and take that next step this year.
All right. The favorite, Clemson, for every reason you guys have said. It only makes sense. Player to watch. I'm taking a player from Clemson, but I'm going defensive with Ben Boulware, the linebacker. Made the 2015 ACC first team. Always all over the field for the Tigers in 2015. Third on the team in tackles with 82. You'd love to coach a guy like this because he's a leader. The under the radar team, I'm going to go with Louisville. Bobby Petrino. He's still an offensive genius. I like their quarterback, Lamar Jackson. He came into his own late in his freshman campaign. Only had 12 touchdowns and 8 interceptions, but a lot of that had to do with the fact that Louisville was trying to find an identity as far as a guy to take the majority of the snaps. So next week, we'll get a little more into the college football preview. We'll discuss some of the other major conferences and some of the quote-unquote mid-majors or little guys as we get closer to the start of college football season. It's almost here, fellas. It is almost here. All right, what we're going to do here is let's swing things over to Miss Kingi Knox with the greatest fan interview for this week. Kingi, what do you have for us?
Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Kingi Knox with the greatest fan. Talking to Cord Parks. How you doing today?
Hey, I'm doing good out here, enjoying the environment, enjoying the fans of Who Dat Nation. Big shout out to them out supporting us and just having a good time right now.
And I see you with Verizon. Verizon's in the house.
Yeah, Verizon's in the house, showing us a lot of love. We did a lot of signings over there for the people, and Verizon always looks out for us.
Okay, so what are you looking forward to this season? A lot of people are really watching, anticipating what's going to happen this season.
The Super Bowl here.
Super Bowl, okay.
Super Bowl here in New Orleans.
Well, how do you prepare for your game?
I actually prepare with music. I love music.
What do you listen to?
So I'm a big fan of music, so I got a lot of different people right now. I'm from Atlanta, so one of my close buddies, Future, I listen to him. 2 Chainz, Kanye. I got a lot of different people. Big Sean, everybody. I listen to everybody.
So you got it. He prepared with his music, Cord Parks. Saints, 2013.
Who that?
New Orleans. Who that? Kingi Knox with the greatest fan.
All right. Kingi, we thank you for that wonderful interview as always. And guys, we're going to kind of change things up here a little bit. Instead of our traditional final thoughts, because we're running a little short on time, let's kind of talk about some of the things that have taken place in Rio. That'll serve as our final thoughts for the week. So just talk about some of the things that you have seen in the Olympics, Rio 2016. Let's start this off with Willie Epting Jr.
Yeah, I'm going to stay with what I was looking forward to when we talked about this when the Olympics started, and that's Mr. Bolt. He has been on fire as expected. He has come out and said that he has nothing else to prove and that this will be his last Olympics. I salute you. I commend you. I respect you. And I'm happy that you are going out on top because not a lot of athletes get to do that. So salute to you, Usain Bolt.
All right, indeed. Dwayne Sutton, you're up.
Willie, Usain Bolt definitely provided the excitement, much needed excitement for these Olympics. USA basketball, where's the defense? And then, honestly, man, I watched the flying squirrel fade to black. Gabby Douglas, to see all the hate and humiliation she had to deal with while in Rio from her own, not just Americans, but her own people. That's just sad, man. That's sickening. We sit on our couches watching people and you want to criticize them while you do nothing. That's just sad. Michael Phelps, thank you. That was a lot of excitement as well, sir. But I definitely have enjoyed myself watching these Olympics. And women's volleyball is lit too.
Yeah, that beach volleyball was crazy. Miss Walsh Jennings lost for the first time ever in Olympic play, her and Ross. They lost to one of the Brazilian teams, but they did come back to win the bronze, so that was pretty cool. I'm going to go real quick here. Love what Simone Biles, Allie Raceman, Laurie Hernandez, Gabby Douglas, and Madison Koshin in the Final Five did for the USA in gymnastics. How about Brianna Rollins, Nia Ali, Christy Caslin sweeping the medal podium for the Stars and Stripes in the 100 meters, the ladies 100 meters. And last but not least, Simone Manuel becoming the first African-American female to win gold in an individual swimming event. That was major. It was great to see. Kudos to all the women. This one's for the girls because they've showed up and shown out in the Olympics in Rio this year. All right, good people. Once again, we thank you for listening to the End Zone Sports Show here on the Big Game Christian Sports Network. Time flies when you're having fun. But we got to go. For Willie, for Dwayne, I'm Donnie. We'll talk to you again real soon. God bless you. We love you. Take care. And we are out.